Hi, my name is Stephanie Calderon. I'm a career and education outreach specialist with Workforce Solutions Capital Area. Today, I'm going to talk to you guys about soft skills and what that means. I'm also going to touch base on time management, work-life balance, how to prioritize your tasks, as well as how to set SMART goals. So let's go ahead and take a deep dive into soft skills. It's one of those things that is very important, but very hard to describe. So stay with me if possible. If you're new here, please subscribe to our channel. We have tons of webinars coming your way, and I would hate for you guys to miss on some great opportunities and announcements and just general information that you can benefit from. So let's go ahead with soft skills. So soft skills are personal attributes that allow you to communicate effectively with another person. So big time soft skills is something that helps you get a job as well as help you keep a job. So soft skills are not to get confused with hard skills. So hard skills are going to be what your certifications are in, what your training's in. If you have any post-secondary education, that's going to be your hard skill. That's kind of like the job requirements that you see on a posting. Now, soft skills are the things that get you the job because your hard skills get you the interview. And once you're in the interview, you use your soft skills to get the job and keep the job. So, I mean, it's really basically good manners and your personality. So you need those things to go along and get along with other people because let's face it, everywhere you go, you interact with people. Now, I know with COVID-19, we're practicing social distancing, so this is not something you can actively practice right now, but I encourage you to practice at home with any family members that you may have. If you could FaceTime a friend and see if this is something that you two could do. It's a lot easier to do with somebody you know than to practice and kind of be in an interview and get stuck with it. So, everyone you are going to meet is going to tell you that soft skills are very important. Employers are highly recommending this, telling us to push this out to our kiddos because everyone is phones. So we don't really know how to communicate person to person in a non-digital way. So I want to encourage you guys to definitely practice while you can some soft skills. I mean, we all work with people, no matter the organization, the industry, or the position. You're going to deal with people, and businesses are highly looking into your strong soft skills to bring that into the business because it's overall going to help them, you, and their customers. So let's go ahead and take a deep dive of what are the top 10 soft skills that employers are looking for. And these top 10 soft skills are going to be something great that you can add to your resume if you don't have already. Like I said, it's not just limited to hard skills, but this is something that you'll be able to put in on your resume under skills. So the first one that I think of that's really important is communication skills. There's so much stuff that's going to be going on in a work life, whether it be your schedule, whether it be an incident that happened, or it's just communicating effectively with your customers. You're going to want to be able to talk to your person, talk to your manager. You know, want to be able to talk to your colleagues and understand that some people have different communication types. So figuring out if I can talk to this person this way, can I talk to this other person a different way? You know, people have different types of color personalities that you need to understand. I think some of you can agree and follow along with what I mean by how you can communicate with two different types of people. So just being able to read that, body language is something huge that you can communicate with. So when you're talking to somebody, give them your undivided attention. Make sure that you're looking at them in the eye, you're nodding occasionally, and you're actively listening. So that way when it's your turn to speak, you have something relative to say to the conversation based off of what they told you. So the second one is going to be a team player. There's no I in team, so this is very important when you're interviewing for a job, when you're kind of in a soccer team, football team, cheerleading team, tennis team, you name it, they need you to be a team player. So this is very important for the job setting as well. You're going to be asked to go to team meetings to work on team projects. You're going to be asked to, you know, help and volunteer and move things. And they want to be able to see that you're that type of person that they can call on and they can count on. So being a team player, making sure you have that teamwork ethic and not really particularly worrying about anybody else, but overall just the team and how you guys are going to reflect. So it's really one team, one reflection. The second one is going to be work ethic. Now, personally, I'm super ambitious. I'm that type of person that's like, oh, what else can I do? Let me jump on this. I don't really wait for anybody to ask me if I can do something. I probably already have it done or I'm working on it. That's really high with your employer. They definitely want to see that you're a go-getter, that you're ambitious, that you're determined. So having that is something great. So we have communication skills, we have team player, and we have strong work ethic. So the fourth one is going to be flexibility. And what I mean by that is to make sure that you are able and enabled to do whatever that your employer may ask you for. If there's something that you're unable or uncomfortable doing, be sure to share that with your manager and have that effective communication as we talked about on item 1. So adaptability is kind of going hand in hand with flexibility. So basically what that means is that they want to make sure that if this is in your area, they have something else that they may need your help with. They want to be sure that they can count upon you and that you're just kind of going to jump into the situation and succeed. That goes really far with an employer. So making sure that you're flexible and that you can adapt to different situations. If you have a angry customer, I've dealt with my fair share of customer service, so I can tell you firsthand that I've dealt with that before. So you have to be able to communicate effectively and kind of be on your toes when it comes to, you know, an aggressor, and just making sure that they feel understood and that you're hearing their concerns, and at the end of the day that you make them happy, and that's you adapting to a situation. So we're going to dive into number 5, which is positive attitude. I hope throughout this video so far that I've established a positive attitude with you guys. So this really goes far because no one likes working with a negative Nancy. You definitely want to come strong. You have to prove yourself if you're coming new into an employer and a business, that you're that person that always comes in with a smile. I mean, I could have X, Y, and Z going on at home. I can be overwhelmed. I could have a horrible day, but I am not going to let my coworkers or my boss see that, because that's none of their business. You know, definitely always carrying a bright smile on your face. You never know who's watching. And you never know when a promotion could be coming your way. So you always want them to have that great taste in their mouth when they think of you. You know, you don't ever want to leave anybody with a sour mouth of a memory of something that you did that can, you know, negatively affect you when it comes time for review or promotion, like I said. And even though you don't think that you're going to be with that employer long term, that person is going to be a reference later down the line. So when you go and apply for another job, they're going to ask you about that previous employment. And they're going to call them and they're going to ask them. And you want to make sure that they tell them nothing but great things, and not, oh my goodness, he was never on time, she was always late, she was super chatty. You know, you want them to be like, man, she was positive all the time. Every time she showed up, she was super effective, always doing, you know, above and beyond what she was asked. You know, that is so far what we listed: 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So number 6 is going to be problem solving. So this is something that is very crucial as well with your employer, because they want to make sure that if they leave you to a certain task, that you're going to be able to go ahead and jump right in and figure it out without being like, I don't know, my boss is not here, I can't make that decision. They want to know it could be a test that you're up to the challenge, that this is something that you're not afraid of, and you handled it with dignity, and you handled it the right way that they would. So just pass your best judgment. Make sure that you can kind of shine that role into leadership, which is going to go into our next one. So leadership skills is something that your employer really looks forward to, because they want to see that you are somebody who can manage a team, that can have a following. So if you would Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, they want them to see that you are able to do more than just social media. If you're physically in a place, they want to see that people could take direction from you in a positive way. And it's not like, oh my gosh, she's super bossy, she doesn't know what she's doing, she thinks that she's the ruler of the universe. You don't want that impression. When it comes to leadership skills, they want to see that you know how to delegate any type of task that you may have, and that whatever task you are giving a certain somebody, you know that that's their strength and that they can be counted on. So that's somebody that can oversee everything, and that's a great leadership quality to have. So you can put that down in your skills as well. The 8th one that we're going to have is critical thinking. So I want to think that critical thinking kind of goes in together with problem solving and adaptation, because with creative thinking, you are coming up with ideas, you're trying to problem solve, you're trying to figure out how you can, you know, integrate this going with forward what you guys already have going on. But you want to be a creative thinker because you want to bring something to the table that nobody else has. They hired you for a reason. They feel that you can contribute something to the team. You can bring a certain type of energy with them. So they want to see kind of what ideas you have. And don't be afraid to shy from anything that you might think, oh, I don't know, because they've never done anything like this, because they never had anybody like you to bring up that idea, so that way they could do something like that. So never be afraid to speak up and share your ideas with your employer, because it could really turn out to be a beneficial thing for you and the business or organization that you're working for. So number 9 is going to be time management. This is really huge, guys, especially my new gen kids, because we are always running late. We live in Austin, it's always traffic city everywhere. So if you know that it takes you 30 minutes to get there, leave 45 minutes early, even 50. Don't be like, oh, I have 10 minutes, I'm gonna run to Starbucks. Like, no, if you're 5 minutes early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late. And that is something that I want all of you to remember. Jot it down, see if you can try and practice that. If you have an interview for an employer, go the day before at that exact same time, so that way you can see. And if, guys, for whatever reason, if you are running late, own up to it and call your employer and let them know. First impressions are everything, but once you get the job, if they already hired you, they're taking a chance on you, and you're for some reason running late for whatever reason, just be responsible and give them that call ahead, just saying, hey, I'm having car trouble, or whatever the case may be. There was a wreck on the way. I'm on my way. I'll be there as soon as I can. Just effectively communicate that with your employer, and I'm sure it's not going to be an issue. It's really frowned upon if you show up late and you didn't call, and you're just kind of like nonchalant about it, and you just go to your desk and they're like, hello, you were supposed to be here 15 minutes ago, and you're like, oh, I was, there was a wreck on the way. It's really important for you to communicate that with your employer, so that way you two can stay on the same page. What else for time management? You guys can organize, you can have your punctuality, so that way you're always on time with your employer, any events or any calls, anything that you have. Make a to-do list for anything that you guys may be doing that needs to get done. If there's a certain type of deadline for that, be sure you write it down on all types of calendars that you have. Personally, me, I have about 4 calendars. I have one hanging in my living room. I have a physical planner. I have my iPhone planner that I use in my calendar, as well as my Google Calendar that I have with my emails. So I actually want to show you guys my calendar. I'm going to show you for the month of March before COVID-19 took over, because April's really not that poppin'. But if you can see my planner here, I have an Erin Condren, and I notate everything that needs to get done in this planner. It looks like this. And if there's anything during the week that needs to get done, I'm telling you, I have it written down. I would seriously invest, if you're more of a hand writer type of person, you physically need to write it down. If you like to take notes in class and that's kind of you, then I would recommend getting a planner. It doesn't have to be this particular planner, but if it's anything that can make you aware of what's coming up and what's happening, and if you can have fun with it, why not? I definitely do that with tasks on here. I take this everywhere with me in my purse. I highly recommend it if you're going to school, any type of post-secondary education after high school. You're going to need a planner, because there's going to be all kinds of deadlines that were never in your high school, journey, and it's going to be something new for you. And no one ever told me when I went to college or when I got my first job, like, to get a planner. They're just like, go get it. But I definitely recommend you guys having some type of form that keeps your deadlines in place. If you're not a planner person, that's fine. If you have an email and you have 5 tasks due during the week, then I would make time blocks in your calendar, so that way be like, check email, write back this person, because we can always say we're going to do something. Okay, remind me, especially me, like, oh, I need eggs before I go home, and then I get home and I don't have my eggs. So I need to have something in my place, because life happens and we have a lot of stuff going on. You never know what's going to happen in your day. Any little slightest thing can throw you off. So I would recommend having some time blocks with those things that you need to get done. And I hope that that's beneficial to you, because it's worked for me in tremendous ways. So the last one that we have is going to be people skills. So this one is kind of a summary in conclusion, most important type of skill I think that anybody needs to have, which is people skills. And the reason I have that down as the last one, but it's always most important to me, is because it's really essential for you guys to have active listening, embedded in your system. When it comes to yourself, your friends, with others, you definitely want to be that person that, if a lot of people come up to you and they ask you, ma'am, sir, can you help me with A, B, and C? And you're just like, yeah, sure, I can. Here, here's this, all the materials that they need. An employer really looks at that very highly, because this is something that they know that you can be counted on. You don't ever have to give any complaints about that customer, or the customer's never complaining about you. If anything, they're always recommending you or giving compliments to you, because that's going to come in handy when it comes to your review time. If you're looking for any recommendation letters, this is going to be off the wall, on the charts, perfect. So I think that these skills are definitely going to help you guys if you try them. I know that we don't really get to exercise them much right now, but I encourage you to, like I said in the beginning, to practice with your family. FaceTime some friends if you want to do a Zoom conference with your teachers and just, hey, I just want to practice some of my soft skills. I have an interview coming up. I'm sure they will be more than happy to. If you would love to, you can email us, ask us to give you a contact if you are a Pflugerville student in the ISD, or Del Valley ISD, Austin ISD, Elgin ISD, Manor ISD. We would love to help you if you reach out to the email right here. We can make an appointment with you, so that way we can go over your skills. If these aren't skills that you have, but you are listing them on your resume, please be aware that during the interview, they are going to ask you to practice those skills and to kind of elaborate why you put those down. So if you're going to put them down, I strongly encourage you to exercise them and practice, so that way when you're in an interview, you're already game face on. You're like, come, go ahead, try me. So soft skills, various behaviors that help you work and socialize with others. I know we talked about that. Soft skills can be learned. It's not something, if you don't have it, then you're never going to. It's definitely something that you guys can embed and put into your tool belt. Soft skills are directly transferable to any type of position, organization, or industry. So if you guys are working in one type and you want to do a career change later, that's fine. Those soft skills are going to be transferable, so you're ready ahead of the game, as well as just working with your team members, being that type of person that can be called on, because there's a work culture that's going on. And anytime you have a hiring manager, that's what they're looking to see. If you're going to blend well with their work culture, if you have really soft skills that are going to welcome in this new environment and, not cause any harm to their customers or their partners. So, I think that's it, guys. If you have any questions, we have somebody live with us that is available to chat with you guys and answer any questions that you may have. I hope that you enjoyed this video over soft skills. I hope that my planner has helped you with prioritizing time management and making those goals with the time blocks and everything. So I think that's all I have to leave with you. I'm going to go ahead and say one last quote so that way you can take away, and that will be, a goal without a plan is just a wish. So happy planning. I thank you guys. Don't forget to follow us and subscribe on our social media accounts to see for more webinars to come. Thank you.